Hey guys, it's TechGran here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be upgrading an old office PC into a modern budget gaming PC. That is right. So office PC upgrading here is something I have in the studio, which is the HP Envy PC. This is a actual old PC I got from a while back when I first started doing YouTube. It was the first PC I ever bought for $800. Now, there's a few problems to this PC that I would honestly change if I was to get that $800 back. I would probably build a PC instead of buying this because there's a problem with this PC. First of all, it has a 300 watt power supply in it, which is not particularly a whole lot of power for upgrades, and it also didn't come with a GPU. I actually did buy originally a 1060 that I placed in there and worked for its time, then of course didn't work anymore, so yeah, I haven't used it since. Now what else comes with this PC is of course the i7 7700 CPU. This is actually a very top of line CPU for back in the day for a quad core CPU with hyper threading for 8 threads, and it actually was very good when I actually was using it back in the day. And I will say, if we use this CPU now, I wouldn't be surprised if it's still good for gaming because its single core performance is pretty good still. Now the big thing you gotta keep in mind about this actual PC in itself, since it was $800 back in the day and it was very top of line, it actually got bought out a whole lot. So it's now officially flooded the third-hand market, especially on eBay, where you can find them for around $90 to $120, which is still a little bit high in my personal opinion. I don't feel like it's that worth the price. Like, definitely buying this for around $90 to $70 seems pretty good if you can get your hands on it. But I thought there's a way to actually upgrade this PC that doesn't really require a whole lot of power, and on top of that too, this is an easy upgrade. Like, we can turn this old office PC into an actual budget gaming PC with just one upgrade. And all we have to do is add a GPU. That is right. So what I got here is a GPU I recently reviewed, which is the 1660 GPU from MSI. Of course, we got this for like $90. The TDP on this is 175 watts, which is pretty good in itself. Of course, this thing has a 300 power supply. So of course, we can't do anything like too crazy with it. We could go with an actual form factor, small form factor GPU, like 3050 6 gig model, which would fit inside of this. The TDP isn't a whole lot because of the fact that some actual GPUs that you can buy small form factor use the PCIe lane to actually power the GPU instead of using a PCIe cable, which is very good if you are going to upgrade an old office PC. But thankfully, this PC actually comes with an 8-pin PCIe cable, so we don't actually have to worry about having power limitations via having no cable. So that means we can build a PC for just $200 with this actual $120 actual office PC, and then plus on top of that too, another like $90 for GPU. You can see we might be able to build a nice budget gaming PC. I'm curious to see how the performance of it will actually be though. Now, I will have everything linked down below if you want to build this PC for yourself. Of course, those links do support the channel, so if you do use them, always appreciated. But let's get into the build process. Now, luckily, the installation for this will be pretty straightforward. All we have to do is open up the side panel here, plop that on out, pull it to the side. Now we do have the PCIe lane right here, which is nice. Of course, there's a bunch of like ketchup and mustard cables plus a loose Wi-Fi antenna cable. Not really the worst thing in the world though. All we need to do is take this GPU and line it up with actually the PCIe lane. I gotta make sure, of course, like we don't get any cables in the way, push that down so that way the bracket's actually loose. So all we have to do is take this GPU, somehow wiggle it on in here for the cables, because the cables are really the main part about this that makes it really difficult. With that though, we're good, I think. Now I just need to make sure to line up the PCIe lane. Why does this always have to be so unnecessarily difficult to install anything into a pre-build? We will never know. You gotta take this Phillips screwdriver and loosen the backside of this bolt right here. Okay, we had to take that off all the way to actually get access to it. I thought it was gonna be something where I could just like not have to do that, but I do, sadly. With that though, we're good to go. So I landed on up. We should be able to just push it down now and have no problem. I'm pretty sure it bit. Okay, there we go. So it did bite. I was making sure it bit or not. Now we just take that PCIe cable. There's actually 2 of them. I thought it was just only a what's it called, 8-pin one, but there is actually 7 pins, so we could put a little bit more in it. If you're ever wondering how to check the TDP on a power supply in a pre-build, all you have to do is look for the sticker, and usually it'll be on the bottom right here. Now if I zoom in the camera, it's not gonna be enough, but it says 300 watts on the bottom here, or just say 300W. That's how we know our TDP. Now all we have to do is take our 8-pin cable, PCIe cable, line that on out, push that on into the GPU so we can power it, and then hopefully nothing goes wrong, because I made sure that none of the cables are in the way, because I don't want like the cables to cause a problem. Yeah, there we go. We're good to go. That's all plugged in. Now what should happen when we go into Task Manager? We should see our RAM 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance. I actually have not enabled XMP or set it right in the BIOS, so I'll probably set that up real quick. GPU, CPU. Okay, we're good now. I thought we messed up big time for a second there. First game we're testing is Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies. Now, I could just do the multiplayer, but supposedly BO3 multiplayer has a lot of problems in it, so I didn't want to mess with it. Everything is actually on lowest settings right now. So we have our FOV 120, max FPS 240, and then we also made sure to disable everything to low and disable anti-aliasing and motion blur. I don't know why that's even on. I thought I disabled that, but now it's disabled. We're gonna apply this by messing around, and this will give me an actual reason to play BO3 Zombies. I have not been able to play the game in like so freaking long. Like, dude, it feels so nice to be able to like play Call of Duty Zombies. We need a new good zombies in the game. All those round-based zombies are like gone. I've been doing like those open person zombies, and like going on for my rant, you get the general gist. I want more zombies again. Hopefully BO5 will be good, but so far our FPS is not bad. We're hitting around like over 60 FPS, so this is definitely playable on low settings. A little bit of stuttering right now, but then again, it's because of the fact that it's so how do I know? We have been like, this is a quad core CPU. Supposedly the minimum you want to use for gaming is like 6 core. Like minimum the entry, you could use a quad core, but it's not really recommended nowadays. Our FPS isn't particularly the best, especially when we get hit in those side effects. Okay, so I set everything to high. The only thing I didn't set to high was like anti-aliasing and some other stuff. Actually, I'm gonna set that to like build 2, whatever, I guess, and global illumination will set the high, but motion blur, we're leaving that disabled. But we're gonna leave everything else the same here. We're gonna apply these settings, and we're gonna see how much FPS we actually get. The game looks significantly better, and also it feels very much more fluid now, which is weird. Oh, our FPS just tanked. Okay, wait, no, our FPS is stabilized. It's actually exactly the same. What? I'm so confused on Call of Duty right here. Like, the FPS usually what will happen in a game is go down if these things are higher. Like, it is much more stable and not sluggish. Maybe it's because it's a console, and consoles, oh no, there it is. There's the sluggishness it's having. Okay, I thought for a second there, like, there's no shot we literally do this and like it's like perfect on high settings, but then acts weird and low. But this is definitely playable still. Okay, next up we have the finals. Now, of course, this game I set it on low settings right off the right because I do not expect this to be like super high FPS whatsoever. Just because of the fact this is a more modern game, I'd be impressed if we actually are able to like run this as like playable. So far, not bad. We're hitting around 60 to 80 FPS on low settings. Now keep in mind this GPU does not have RTX or ray tracing at all, so there will be no reason whatsoever to use ray tracing on this GPU. Like, on low settings, looks alright, nothing too insane. I just know with all the particle effects, we're gonna lose so much FPS. Now, I was honestly thinking this CPU would still be very good to use in 2024, the actual game, because the single core performance is supposedly like alright, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be like not the best, but like it was best in its time, so I assume it would be have the same factor, would be still pretty good. So this guy just does not die. The AK in this game is so bad. Okay, never mind, we got him. So far, not that terrible though. I want to crank up the FPS a little bit. Or not FPS, the settings, to see what it looks like on high. I need to grab this cache real quick. I know for a fact that I'm gonna probably get pulled up on, so I do not want to get pulled up on in the open, this at the very least. Okay. I don't know what my crouch setting is, so I'm really hoping that I just don't run out. I need to kill this guy. There's like 2 different people here. Okay, that's that guy. That's good. Oh, okay, that's another one. Okay, we're popping off. Okay, okay. We're doing pretty good. I definitely somehow this is working out. I'm not too entirely sure how, but hey, it's working. So let's just crank this up into high settings now, just to see how it actually is. I'm surprised though that the GPU, like, oh, we could do epic. We'll do epic. Like, it's got the actual resolution scaling method on AMD. We could probably change this to something else, but like, it isn't really anything crazy. I'm gonna have to just leave this on balance for the time being. But now we're on high settings, and I'm dead. I assume on high it will not be playable. Like, it'll be around 50 to 60 FPS, but it won't be any more than that, to the point where like I wouldn't recommend playing on it. But this is kind of what you get for like spending like $200 on a PC. Like, if you're spending $200 on a PC, you're gonna get it just playable, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? You're not expecting to get like to be able to play the highest settings possible. I feel like a lot of people just play FPS shooters on like all low settings, and the reason why they do that is because they just want to be able to play the game, right? The latest games. I do think like this map though is pretty sick though. want to quickly say that I really like this map. I'm actually cashing out, surprisingly. I thought it was not gonna work. Dude, my FPS is now 60 to 40 with this particle effects. Oh yeah, that guy's dead. That guy just got cooked. Okay, we're the first to cash out. Sick. Oh my god, I'm whiffing so freaking hard right about now, and I'm such in a bad spot. Yeah, somehow we're not dead right there. I have no idea how that just worked out for us. Oh, bro, just got cooked. Let me know you guys' honest opinion. You guys want me to start talking when I do my like game testing, or do you guys want me to just play the game and just like has a quick like B-roll shots of playing it for a minute? Let me know what you guys want because I'm curious to see what you guys say. Somehow I got that. I did not know how I lived that. I should have died. Whatever. Dude, all I just see is just canisters getting thrown around the map, bro. That's all I'm seeing right now when I'm trying to claim this. Also, the most deadliest thing in this game is just getting thrown a thing of gasoline at you and you just go bang. And you're just dead. I don't think anyone's gonna... Oh, never mind. Somebody did try that second. Okay, this guy's getting cooked. Okay, we won. Okay. Even with playing with bare minimum FPS, we somehow won that. So this is definitely... usable. Kind of get what you get for $200, but definitely would not recommend. Okay, finally got Apex Legends to work. There's some pocket lag and some other stuff, but we have everything on low settings for the time being. I did also do a driver update just in case for testing purposes to see like if the drivers will increase the FPS. Yeah, long story short, I went back to test the finals. No results. There's no difference whatsoever FPS wise. However, I will say though, this playing Apex Legends on this PC, besides the pocket loss and some stuff that's bugging with the Apex servers recently, is pretty dog water. We're actually getting over 100 FPS on all low settings, which is awesome. Unfortunate thing though is that I don't have my game settings set up properly for like movement and all that jazz, so I won't be able to kind of really show off. But I was honestly not expecting it to be like anything crazy FPS wise. I was expecting to be like 120 to 100 plus, but we're now averaging around 115 to like 140 at times for this game, which is nice to see, especially on Apex, because like this game's really like an FPS shooter. You really want a lot of FPS possible, especially with all the movement in this game. So that's nice to see. I'm curious though to see like how much of a difference it will actually be when we throw on, you know, something else like what's the word here? My brain just can't compute because I'm trying to process information. The exact same thing, watching everybody lag to high settings, because high settings will be where it gets interesting. And also, my mouse sensitivity on this computer is so much more different than the sensitivity I use on my computer. So like all my settings are so scuffed. My aim feels so messed up. So let's just hold up. Okay, that guy got cooked. Okay, now let's switch our settings to max real quick. Okay, so everything is on max now. So I'm curious to see how much FPS we have. And dead. Nice. Same lifeline came back to kill me. Funny. So we're not longer hitting, what is it, like, was it 110 FPS to 140? We're now around 90 plus, I'd say. Nothing too insane with high settings. Like, the game looks good. I think the only thing we forgot to enable was maybe oh yeah, here, the anti-aliasing to make it look better. Yeah, so we enabled the anti-aliasing now to make the game look a little bit better, crisper wise. But definitely not particularly the best to say the very least. And also I'm getting like shot off from 3 different angles. And you're so lucky, bro. So I'm... Oh my god. Die, you freaking wraith. You should not get out of there alive like that. DPS though is so much higher. Oh my god, bro. Like whiffing at times because of how much the difference is. I used to play with 16,000 DPS or DPI, so I was like, oh, I can play on that. I used to play on like Survival IO and also what's it called, Zombs Royale, and those games do not exist anymore. So that was the reason why I have my DPS DPI so high. Like I can still use it to some degree because I've used it for so long. I used it for like 4 or 5 years, so I can use it in FPS shooters, but it's not really recommended because you kind of whiff a little bit of shots here and there. Like I know some people who still use it and they have it like toggle based. So I'm unfortunate not the guy who kind of toggle based it though. Okay, I'm getting shot in the back. Perfect. Nice. You know, I'm slowly adapting to it. Now, let's go to my final thoughts about this PC now that we upgraded this old pre-built. I say it's pretty good to use. I wouldn't recommend anyone doing what I'm doing though. Like, if you're gonna build a PC for $200, I would just recommend saving up to spend like $400 on a PC, the $500, even $600, because you can build a PC for $500 or $600. They can pretty much play any AAA title and actually play at good settings. That doesn't require like too much, you know what I'm saying? You can find a lot of stuff for that build price. But buying PC components, old PC components is sometimes good when it makes sense to, but this is kind of one of those situations that if you want to do it and you're really tight on money, you can do it, but I wouldn't really recommend it for anyone because like you'll get playable FPS to non-playable FPS at times, and yeah, and especially when newer games coming out, quad core CPU doesn't seem like something I would recommend using in 2024. The bare minimum I would say is a 6-core CPU plus a good GPU. But yeah, hopefully you guys didn't find this video interesting or even helpful. If you did, make sure to smash the like button and get subscribed to miss some feature tech content, because later here we got a $400 PC build video, so you don't want to miss out on that. Definitely get subscribed. Until then, have a great day. Tech Rant out.